Hey everybody, and welcome to Comics from the Future. I'm Andy.
I'm Matt.
We're here with Infinity Flux Comics out of Chattanooga, Tennessee. This is our big show where we show you all of the biggest and best books that are coming up for pre-order. Your pre-orders are due this Sunday by 9, so get those in so you don't miss out on any of the goodness. So you don't miss out when you go into your store and you wonder where everything is. It's because you should have pre-ordered
Should have
it.
pre-ordered.
No shame, but a little bit. So we got a great show for you today. So let's get into it.
Well, wait. Before we get into our featured comics, though, there's something we need to talk about first. Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures Free Comic Book Day with art by Andy Dugan right here, the cover and the interiors. So Andy is doing the Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures Free Comic Book Day book. That is awesome. This was just announced a day or two ago. The art is not final. You need to hurry up and finish that cover so that we can see the whole thing.
I would, but I have my iPad right here.
Oh, that's right.
For the show,
that's right.
so.
Yeah, I can't see it right now. But yeah, this looks really cool. I got to see maybe a page or two, and this looks really fun.
Yeah, I'm glad to finally announce this. It's a big deal. Like this is, you know, the Star Wars books for Free Comic Book Day are always huge. It's a great all ages one, and I am honored and privileged doing the cover and doing the interior for this story. Plus, it's going to have a ton of first appearances of the characters from Young Jedi Adventures in comics. So don't miss this. I believe Free Comic Book Day 2024 is May 4th. It's also falling on Star Wars Day.
Oh my gosh.
The synergy is just oozing out of it.
Literally every planet, every star aligned for that. That is so cool. And you said too that, because I'm not familiar as much with the animated series, but those two characters on the cover there, that's their first time meeting up because they're from two separate properties.
Yes, the character in the back, Court, is from the Star Wars High Republic Adventures comic that Dark Horse is currently publishing.
Right.
And then Nubs there on the cover is from the show on Disney Plus, the Young Jedi Adventures show. So this will be all of those characters from the show's first appearance, but the characters from the comic will be in the style of the show.
That's awesome.
It's a real like major crossover of the two worlds. I'm very excited to be a part of this. Even though it says not final art, I can assure you it looks like this, just in color.
Right.
It's already done. So nothing to worry about. I think there's more information coming up in the next couple of days where they're going to reveal the full thing and the solicitation for it, the description of it. But you're in for a fun ride, and we just wanted to announce this, even though it's months and months off. That this just got announced, and I have a strong tie to it.
Yeah. You can actually go to freecomicbookday.com to see all of the comics from Marvel and DC and Image and all those guys. The full slate has been announced, so you can go see. There's still some missing information, some covers we don't know yet, but you can see the spot for every book. There's like 48 of them, I think.
Yeah.
So you can see the whole slate of them out there, but we definitely wanted to highlight this one because obviously it's going to be the best.
Yeah. So we'll be talking about it as the weeks and months continue towards Free Comic Book Day, but we did want to just drop that here in the beginning because it just got announced and we're very excited.
We're going to talk about it every single show between now and Free Comic Book Day, so, every week.
Again. Now, on to your regular scheduled programming. Our featured comics.
We're going to start with Timeless. This is the 2023 edition of Timeless. This has become a really fun staple every year near the end of the year. I think this is our third one, or is it the fourth one? I don't remember.
I want to say that it's like the third in this form.
Right.
They used to kind of do something very similar with their Free Comic Book Day books. When they did it like that way, but now they're doing these timeless.
The timeless books. Like I said,
so this is timeless number 3.
True, basically. And these are always fun. Come out at the end of the year, give us a little peek at some of the stories that are going to be coming soon, or it's maybe not. I don't know. In Marvel, but this one in particular, it's written by Colin Kelly and Jackson Lansing, and those guys are all over the place. And the art is by Juan Cabal. This one is about all of time and space being threatened by an ancient evil, which is, you can see on the cover, the Moon Knight Unending. That's the name of the character you see there. It's a nightmare combination of Stark-Tech, the Eternal Machine, and the God of the Moon, which that sounds like way overpowered. All of Earth is basically bowing to their power, but there's one hero, the Earth's last hero that can stand up to him, and that's Power Man. You see him on the cover too. He wields the power of the Sentry, the Hulk, and Iron Fist. So they both have a wild combination
Yeah.
of powers and abilities that they have access to, and they're gonna duke it out. I don't know what's gonna happen. I don't really know what the story is. But they are going to go at it, and I think this sounds really fun. And like I said, we're going to get a shocking glimpse into some of the upcoming stories and events and just goings on in the Marvel universe that we'll see in the next year or so. But it should be really, really cool. So I'm very excited for this.
I always love these because used to we got things similar to this,
Mhm.
but they were like one page, like little things.
Right.
But the way they've been doing the timeless, and then like Star Wars is doing the Revelation
That's right.
issues, very similar. Is they managed to work in these glimpses of future into the narrative, so you actually have a story. It's not just a bunch of like 2-page
Yeah.
previews. It's actually this kind of narrative version of giving you a hint towards stuff, and they give you just enough to make you kind of wonder what's going on. And
Right.
as the year goes on, you get to kind of find out what those mean. Some happen, some don't. But it's still just a really good time, and I'm excited every time one of these
Yeah.
comes out.
Oh, yeah, for sure. I'm super excited. And this comes out on December 27th. So, right after Christmas, right before New Year's. So, a little bit of excitement right at the tail end of the year. So, we have our A cover right here. Then we have an Alex Ross wraparound a variant. There is a Felipe MASSAFERA spoiler variant, and we've actually seen what the spoiler cover is,
Yeah.
and it's very interesting.
Very
I do want to
interesting.
see what that's about.
A lot of these too, I want to see what are they going to tie into something. Is like the Moon Knight and Power Man going to be like a hint of where Avengers is going,
Yeah, I
or
don't
maybe
know.
the new Moon Knight series? And what's on the spoiler cover, which it's funny, they put it up for just a second and then it disappeared and it got
Oh,
replaced with this.
okay.
But there's another kind of, I would almost say, amalgamation of characters. A character wielding somebody else's abilities that I'm like, where's that gonna be?
Yeah,
So
how's that going to play in? So yeah, keep your eye out for this spoiler cover because, like I said, it's really, really like, oh, that's
yeah,
really cool. We also have an INHYUK variant. We have a Peach Momoko Nightmare variant, so we still got some of those, and a Ron Lim variant as well. Super classic looking right
I
there.
like on like this one. It looks like Power Man has Sentry's cape. You know, they have like
Yeah.
little bits of the
Well, I
different
thought it was
characters.
a longer version of Power Man's classic yellow shirt
It
because it
could
has like the
be.
high collar on it, you know.
Yeah, and then of course the Moon Knight is like a little Iron Man, a little.
But wait, didn't it wasn't his? Oh, maybe he can make both fists because wasn't on the A cover wasn't the glowing fist his right hand,
Yeah,
and this one's his left hand.
he can double punch.
He's ambidextrous. He's an ambidextrous iron fist wielder.
Next up, we're moving on to another really big one. This is Fall of the House of X. So after doing a little research, I found out because Marvel's not great at saying how many issues these things are. This is going to be a 5-issue
Mhm.
miniseries, and it's going to coincide with Rise of the Powers of 10. So just like the original Hoxpox,
Yep.
we've got a kind of a bookend to this era of Krakoa with these series. So
So
you
do we
don't.
know is Rise of the Powers of Ten? Is that maybe next week's FOC? Like,
It
are they
might
staggered like
be. I
that?
think it's going to be like that.
Okay.
And like the other one, I'm going to guess because you just read that recently.
Yeah.
It's pretty important you read both of them. They're
They're the same series
they're the
basically. Like
same
why when I was
series.
reading it, I was like, why were these ever split up?
Yeah.
This is like because I read the hardcover and they alternate,
Yep.
so it's the right reading order. It's like this is just one book,
Yeah.
you
If
know?
you chose one or the other, you might be confused.
Yeah.
So, but this is going to kick that off. We'll know more once the other one. We talk about it in future weeks. But this is going to be written by Gary Duggan and art is by Lucas Wernick. And in this, there's not a whole lot of information. We just know that mutant kind, of course, is at its lowest. We've seen that basically since the last Hellfire Gala. It has been just horrible for the mutants. And Cyclops is on trial facing the death penalty. And I think that has to do with people still thinking that Captain Krakoa
Is him.
is
Oh.
Cyclops, because a lot of people are still referring to him as Cyclops.
Yeah.
So I think it has something to do with that, and they're blaming the attacks and everything that Captain Krakoa are doing on Cyclops. So we'll have to see what goes on there, but I think that's where they're going. And so this is the final stand of the mutants of Krakoa, and there's a fun, I don't want to say hint, but one of the variant covers title is a interesting thing too that kind of gives a
Oh,
hint to
yeah, I
it.
see it. Okay, yeah.
But really cool. So definitely pick this one up, and then just be on the lookout for the Rise of Powers of 10 when that comes out as well to get on both of them because I imagine they're going to be kind of alternating books. So this is our A cover. We also have this really nice ARTGERM with MAGIK, one of my favorite X characters. This is the ASRAR, and this is the one I was talking about. It's called the ASRAR Farewell KRAKOA variant. So that's pretty telling right there. That the fate of Krakoa, either they're just leaving it or something worse might happen to it. This is also an homage to the X-Men #1 cover of Hickman's,
Right.
where they were all like on the moon and
Oh,
stuff.
that's right. Yeah.
So very cool.
That's the whole Summers family and Wolverine.
Yep. We also have this INHYUK Shadowcat variant. We've got a Mark Brooks connecting variant, which, I mean, always awesome. And of course, what do we always say? If you got a new #1, you get a SKOTTIE Young
you
cover.
got to.
So, I'm very excited for all this stuff coming up with the mutants. We know. I can't wait till we talk about the X-Force issue coming up with Beast.
Yeah.
That's gonna be some cool stuff when it looks like a Beast from the past is returning. Just a lot of great stuff going on in the X-Men right now, heading towards the end of the Krakoa saga.
Yeah. So next is Titans Beast World Tour Central City. So this is another one of the one-shot tie-ins to the Beast World storyline that's going to be starting pretty soon. These Beast World Tour one-shots just showing what's going on in other cities around the globe. There's a Metropolis one, a Gotham one. This one is the Central City one. And in this one, the Starospores, the things that are infecting the planet, basically turning people into beasts, basically. They've made their way to both Central and Keystone City. So it's not just Central City in this. So Irie West I don't know how to pronounce her name.
I think it's just Irie.
Irie, okay. Irie West has a plan to deal with him. In the meantime, Avery Ho and Wallace West, who we just saw in the new Speed Force book. So those two and Circuit Breaker, who we haven't seen in a while, all three of them are going to work to contain the infected speedsters that have been affected by these spores. And what I'm finding most interesting is there are going to be important revelations in this book about what is going on with the Speed Force. Like in the main Flash book right now, we know that it's glitching out pretty bad. And Wally and Mr. Terrific have been investigating it, trying to figure out. And this book is going to give us maybe not all the answers, but it's going to give us a little bit more information about what's going on with the Speed Force.
Pretty important.
Sounds pretty
Flash lore.
It almost sounds more important to the Flash books than maybe to Beast World. So yeah, definitely don't miss this one if you're reading the current Flash right now. This one should be cool. So we have our A cover right here. We have a CULLY HAMNER variant.
I love that one.
Yeah. Oh, that's Godspeed.
Yeah. But as
a bee. And then we have our CLARKE variant as well. There's Godspeed again and Irie.
Okay, next up, Beware! The Planet of the Apes. So this is a new #1. Just a foreshadowing, there's going to be a SKOTTIE Young cover.
Oh, yeah.
Beware the Planet of the Apes. This is really cool. They did the previous Planet of the Apes series that ran for a volume or two, I think 6 to 12 issues. They were kind of set more towards the new Planet of the Apes stories. This is going back to classic Planet of the Apes. You can see in the style of the characters on the cover and everything. We're heading back to that. It's going to be written by Mark Guggenheim, and the art is by Alvaro Lopez. And this sounds really cool because you're going back, you got Cornelius, classic Planet of the Apes characters, and Zira. They're the only apes that see any use in humans. They kind of treat the humans like they're speechless creatures. They basically treat them like apes.
Yeah.
From our world. But when Cornelius and Zira's nephew Lucius goes missing, they're going to have to turn to this human ally on the cover who will one day be known as Nova, who people, fans of Planet of the Apes, may recognize to get their nephew back. So it's really fun. I really like they're going back to the classic Planet of the Apes. I love the new movies, but the old ones have such a distinct look that I think that's going to be really cool. So I think this is going to be great for people who are the classic Planet of the Apes fans. Maybe you're a big fan of the old Marvel series.
Oh, yeah.
Or maybe when I think IDW got the rights for a little while. This will go right along with those. So this is our A cover for that. We also have this Ben Harvey variant. And of course, we got a SKOTTIE Young variant. Yep. Very cool.
And the next is Charred Remains. So this is a new 6-issue miniseries. This is written by Anthony Cleveland, and the art is by Andrea Muti, artist on Maniac of New York and Parasomnia. A very distinctive look and color palette to his art. So this is about this dark entity called the Fireman, and he's made up of fire and smoke and ash. Well, years ago, he tore through the home of a young girl named Amy Durant and killed her entire family. And she saw it happen. I guess she was probably a young kid. She saw it happen, and nobody believed her that it was this fire guy that did all this, right? Um, about a decade later, the city starts to burn, and the fireman is responsible. And Amy Durant is going to have to be the one to sort of deal with it and figure out how to stop him. Don't know if anybody's going to believe her this time around, but yeah, just a new creepy sounding book from Mad Cave. This one, like I said, the art is going to be great. Andrea Muti, their art is really good. They always have this nice like blues and yellows and like sort of pinkish hues to everything.
Very watercolory.
Yeah. So this one should be good. So we have our A cover right here. We have and an Andrea Muti variant as well. So I guess, and I think they were the cover on. I don't think they didn't do the first cover, the A cover, but that's your interior artist right there, and that's their color palette, right? The blues and the yellows and the pinks or reds. Yeah, that's what they look like.
Next up, we've got Joker, Harley Quinn Uncovered. You want to be like Joker and Harley Quinn? No, it's Joker, Harley Quinn Uncovered. This is continuing in your Uncovered series that DC is doing. That's actually a collection of famous covers, very popular covers. Maybe they were incentives that you didn't get your hands on. This collects them in this one-shot thing. But what's cool about these is the previous ones, like the Poison Ivy one was narrated by Poison Ivy. The Joker one was narrated by Joker, so you got kind of their comments on stuff. But this one says it's going to have some secret surprises. So I'm looking forward to seeing what's in store for this. But there's going to be great covers in here by ARTGERM, Derek Chu, and many more. Plus, you got this great Alex Ross cover. But this one, it's a book of covers with other covers. So this is our A cover. And then we also have, this is the Lyrics Lee variant. We've got this Christian Ward variant. And an Alex Ross foil variant. I think this is going to be...
That's a good foil. That'd be a real good foil
one, yeah. That classic Alex Ross Harley Quinn cover. So don't miss out on that. I think especially this foil one is going to go fast.
Yeah. So next is a book called Underheist. This is going to be a 5-issue miniseries from Boom. With it's written by David and Maria Lapham, and the art is by David Lapham. So this is described as a hard-boiled heist series with a supernatural horror twist. So I'm already sold on that. There's I guess the guy on the cover right there in the middle. His name's David. He has a gambling addiction that brings him to his lowest point, decimates his personal life, and he would do anything to set things right. But as they say, the road to hell is paved with good intentions. So he learns of a heist involving a tunnel system, and I think it said through New York City, that he knows the tunnels better than anyone. So he's going to get involved in this heist deep down in the tunnels. But the cover makes me wonder what's down in those tunnels, right? Because there's some creepy looking. Well, that's rats and stuff, but there's like a hand coming up through it. The train is about to go off the tracks. Like the cover tells a lot, and you can see like a body falling down into this pit, I guess. So this kind of makes me wonder what's the heist going to be. Is it going to be some kind of like portal to hell or something? I don't know, but a really cool new heist story, also with creepy supernatural stuff. It should be a great time. So we have our A cover right here, and then we have a Suzuka variant.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Next up, we've got Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099. This is continuing Steve Orlando's multiple miniseries he's been doing on Spider-Man 2099. I believe they've all been weekly series, haven't they?
No.
Oh, they haven't?
No.
Okay. I just remember they came out very close to each other. But this is going to be a miniseries. The art is by Devmalia Pramanik. And this sounds really cool because this has... It's going to be Spider-Man 2099 against Marvel Zombie 2099. Which, like you said on the other show, I believe it's like a singular character, Marvel Zombie 2099.
They even like capitalize it like it's a name. Marvel Zombie 2099 is what they called it.
Yeah.
So I don't know
So
if that's him on the cover.
I want to know the history of that character.
Yeah.
Is it, someone we've known before or a new
Right.
thing? But it's going to be up to Spider-Man and Blade 2099 to save Nuevo York from the zombie infestation. So it sounds like it's going to be spreading,
Right.
probably from
Yeah.
this central Marvel zombie. But I looked ahead to future issues of this because I want to know a little bit more about what's going on. And it sounds like this whole thing is going to be very horror side of Marvel
Okay.
related because the next issue is going to have Werewolf by Night
What?
2029.
Okay.
So I think that sounds really cool. I like these interpretations of characters, kind of seeing the futuristic spin they give to them.
Yeah.
And so if you're a big fan of Spider-Man 2099, you'll want to check this one out. Also like the title because it's a nice homage to Peter Parker Spider-Man.
Yeah.
It's Miguel O'Hara, Spider-Man 2099. So very fun there. We've got some great covers for this. This, of course, is our Nick Bradshaw A cover, which is always good. We also have this David Baldeon variant. I wonder if that's Marvel Zombie.
Looks like it. It looks like the same character on that main cover.
And then we're going to be seeing a bunch of these, but this is the David Yarden Wolverine variant. There's some really great Wolverine homage covers coming up that are borderline from cool to really goofy.
Yeah.
So stay tuned for those. And of course, this is an homage to Spider-Man.
Spider-Man #1.
#1.
Yeah, Todd McFarlane's
Spider-Man.
Yeah. Next is Kid Venom. This is going to collect all 4 parts of the Kid Venom backup story from the end of the Venomverse miniseries that just wrapped up not too long ago. But we're also going to get some never before seen behind the scenes artwork and things like that of Kid Venom. I don't know yet if this is going to lead into another like a Kid Venom miniseries or something. I don't know why they would put it all together if they're not going to do anything with it later. And I think there's still some big like symbiote Venom, something like storyline coming up soon, which Kid Venom may figure in, but that's just speculation at this point. But this book right here is just a collection of those backup stories. So if you missed those, if you missed out on the end of the Venomverse miniseries, you want to see what the backup stories featuring this character, definitely pick this book up and they'll put it all right there for you. This is our A cover right here, and then we have a Humberto Ramos variant as well.
Just Ramos drawing anything Spider-Man or Venom related, I love.
And that's Kid Venom fully venomed out.
Yeah. Okay, next up we have other #1s. Before we get to that, just wanted to remind you to head over to infinityflux.net right now, where you can pre-order all of these books we're talking about and the variant covers, plus many, many other things that we have not even mentioned here. We've got a great Christmas gift guide. We've got pics from all the different people who work here. Just really fun stuff. And everything you pre-order on there, you get 10% off of. So that's great. And don't forget that you can use the code ILOVEFLUX at checkout and get 10% off your first order. And that does work with the other 10%. So you can get extra savings.
Lots of percentages.
A lot of percentages. You feel like you're in school again. Next up, so we have other #1 starting with Marvel MEOW. I mean, could you have a better just like butt punch?
Yeah.
We have Marvel MEOW. This was originally a Marvel Unlimited comic. This is by Neo Fuji, and this is going to be collected together physically for the first time. But what I like they've been doing with these, like to give you an extra incentive to buy this, it is going to have a new story in it as well. So you do get some bonus stuff. We've got teaming up of famous Marvel cats like Chewie, Alpine, and plenty more who are going to be vanquishing some villains, getting into mischief, and probably also crying at the door, wanting you to open it so they can look outside. But as soon as you do that, they turn around and walk away like the jerks they are. It doesn't say that solicitation, but I know cats.
Yeah.
So I think this sounds really fun. I love that they do these little fun, using the characters for, showing some human to them, everything. So this is our A cover for that. We also have a Chrissy Zulo variant, which Chrissy Zulo is great at the animal stuff. And we have this great, this is the Doily variant, which is a fantastic Lion King homage. And I'm really scared what Spider-Man's about to do with that.
That's awesome. Next is Shift. So this is a let's see, this is a one shot. So if you're not familiar with Shift, this is a character from the Massiveverse, which is the universe over at Image Comics with Radiant Black, Dead Lucky, Rogue Sun, Infernal Girl Red, No
Radiant
One.
Pink.
Yeah, all the Radiants like this. So this is like their world. So this is a character from that. This character has popped up in the Radiant Black books a few times, and something that I actually didn't know, but apparently they fought alongside Dead Lucky at one point. So I need to go back and read that. But this is going to be all. But they've always popped up in a guest star capacity, or in the case of Radiant Black, they've always been kind of the villain.
Mm-hmm.
So this one is going to tell us who is the man in the suit. How did he assemble his team of mercenaries? So this actually contains the 4 8-page Shift stories originally released in the Image book that came out
Yeah.
a while back. So this is a collection of that whole story. Plus, just like we talked about a minute ago, a brand new 5-page story as well with this character. So, if you're into the Massive Verse and all those characters, don't miss this. It's going to be a nice addendum to all the other books, and give us a little bit more in-depth look at this character that's been popping up a lot. So this is our A cover, and then we have a Di Nicuolo variant as well, and their art is awesome.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah. Next up, we have Sabrina the Teenage Witch Holiday Special #1, because we are not done with the Christmas books yet. But this sounds really fun. So this is going to be written by Kelly Thompson and Daniel Page, along with art by Andy Fish and Veronica Johnson. And I really like what they've been doing with a lot of the Sabrina stuff. They've been doing these little one-shots, or maybe a little short series, putting Sabrina in fun situations. So in this one, we've got Sabrina and friends try and save a friend from a dark and clever beast. I hope it's Santa or the Krampus. And there's also a flashback story featuring Sabrina's aunts, Hilda and Zelda, as they break the rules and go to a school dance where they meet a ghost of Solstice Past. So just really fun if you are a fan of Sabrina and want to get some extra holiday goodness. Check this one out. Then we've got the A cover here, and we also have this really nice Laura Braga cover.
That does look good.
Next up, we've got notable 2s and 3s. These are continuations of series you want to make sure you don't miss. Maybe you read the first one and you want to continue with the series so you don't forget.
Next is Batman Off-World #2. So the first issue has not come out yet. It comes out next week. We will be talking about it on Monday. So the story details on this issue are a little bit light. We know that a young Bruce Wayne goes off into space. I thought he was abducted, but this says that he goes into space to continue his development as Batman. So, like I said, we'll know more when that first issue comes out. We'll let you know on Monday after we read it. He winds up a prisoner of the War Storm, which is this massive starship filled with trained killers. So that sounds like pretty good practice for somebody who's aspiring to be a Batman.
Yeah.
What good way? And that's that. I don't know who that is, but we've seen some preview pages in a lot of the DC books that have been out in the last week or two, and that is a Tamaranian.
Okay, that's what I was wondering.
Like Starfire, yeah. So I don't know who they are, but I do know that much for sure, just based off those preview pages. So we have our A cover right here, and then we have a Francesco Mattina variant as well. That looks really cool.
That's cool.
Yeah. Batman floating along the stars.
Next up, we've got Batman Santa Claus Silent Night #3, continuing this, what we believe to be a weekly series.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure this comes out on the 19th. And the other ones, it's weekly, I guess, which is a nice surprise.
Yeah, and then the final issue actually comes out the day after Christmas, or the Tuesday after Christmas.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So it sounds really fun. Continue with this. In this one, I think the last one, Krampus unleashed vampires on Bloodhaven. In this one, Krampus unleashes harpies on London.
Wow.
And it's going to take the Justice League meet a most unusual elf who takes them to Norway to help Santa do battle. So, I mean, that doesn't just sound like the best team up and crossover ever. I'm very excited about this. Just another really fun DC book. We've got our A cover here. That was by Dan Mora, and we also have this really nice Derek Chew variant. Yeah. Also, Black Canary doesn't need a megaphone.
Definitely not. That would destroy the planet. I love that this is weekly though, because when I saw this, I was thinking I might wait for the trade and read it next Christmas because it won't be out until, I don't want to read Christmas stories, 3 months after Christmas. But this is weekly, leading right up and just a pinch past Christmas. Like, that's perfect. Good job, DC. So next is Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong #3. #2 comes out next week. We'll be
Yep.
talking about that on Monday as well, I think, right? Yeah, is that our list? So in this one, things are getting crazy. Superman and Godzilla go head to head with devastating consequences for Metropolis. Supergirl encounters Kong on Skull Island, and Wonder Woman takes on Behemoth on Themyscira. So
Wow.
it sounds like, we were wondering if there's going to be more monsters than
Yeah.
just Kong Godzilla, and apparently there are. So just more, Justice League versus giant monsters, and that's all I need to be sold on that. So we have our A cover right here. We have a John Boyd Myers variant, and then we have a Mike Deodato Jr. variant.
Very cool. But on that A cover, you've got Green Arrow. I love Green Arrow, but that's a tall order for
Maybe just like, a lot of times, like the street level heroes and big stuff like this, they'll make sure people on the ground are safe.
yeah.
Oh, we'll get them into safety. You go fly and punch and things like that.
Unless he has like a giant like anti-Godzilla arrow.
Well, he just has a giant boxing glove arrow,
Oh.
and he's gonna sock Godzilla right in the jaw with it.
Next up, we have the Deviant #2 or Deviant #2. We just got the first issue of this week.
Mhm.
A very interesting holiday story. I'd say a horror slasher story set in holiday times of a potential mall Santa who became a serial killer back in the 70s, but now he's in modern day. And we've got our main character, Michael, who's interviewing him because he wants to write a comic about him. But did he really do all those things? Because it looks like there is another grisly killer in Chicago seems very similar to the one from the 70s. So is this a copycat or was the original never actually caught? We're not sure yet. But issue 1 was very interesting. I'm looking forward to continuing the series. This is our A cover. And then we also have this Stoko cover, which is pretty cool looking.
Yeah. Next is Marvel Superheroes Secret Wars Battle World #2. The first issue has not come out yet, comes out next week, and we will be talking about that on Monday as well. I'm really excited about this though because this whole miniseries is set during the original Secret Wars that came out back in 1984. And this one sounds super cool because Spider-Man in his new black costume that he does not yet know is an alien symbiote. He's going to get pulled out of the Secret Wars, and he's going to have to go deal with Hobgoblin, Baron Zemo, Electro, and Constrictor, which is really cool because those are characters that they made the toys for back in the 80s, but they actually never really appeared in the original miniseries. At least I think they made them, or maybe they were prototypes. And I want to say Constrictor and Baron Zemo actually did get made. I think Hobgoblin was like a kind of a rare one to get. And I'm not sure about Electro, so check me if I'm wrong on that. But regardless, they weren't in the original one, and that's why they're being brought into this because they were part of the toy line in some fashion, but
Yeah.
they were never part of the book that the toys were based on. So now they are. So now they're going to work them in or retroactively. And how did these villains get to Battle World? That's what I want to know. Is like, well, where were they in the original? Because it says he gets taken out of the Secret Wars and has to go deal with them. So is it going to be somewhere else on Battle World? And like I said, how do they get there? Like, what's the story? Can't wait to read this. So it should be fun. This is our A cover. We have our John Tyler Christopher action figure variant, which, like I said, I'm pretty sure they made that. So that's very accurate. We have a Leo Romero variant. We have a Scotty Young variant, which that's awesome. And there's a Todd Knott connecting variant as well.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's super classic.
I wonder if were the figures they weren't made, but they were planned. Maybe they were featured on the back of the box or something.
I meant to look it up before we started. I could have sworn that they made Baron Zemo and Constrictor at least, but I don't know. I didn't have them. So I'm trying to think, did they get made or did I just see concept photos of them, but they never actually got released? That's the part I can't remember. But at the very least, they were planned to be made, even though those characters weren't in the book.
Well, we'll do our research.
Yeah, we'll figure it out. We'll let you know next week.
Next up, we got Geiger Ground Zero #2. This is actually the finale of this 2-part series, a very short series. But this is actually going to be setting up the new monthly Geiger series that is coming next year. So we're going to be getting an ongoing Geiger series after this, which I'm very excited for.
I mean, with the way the last Geiger series ended, I don't know how that's going to...
We don't know.
Okay.
But I'm very excited to see where it's going. I mean, you can't keep a good radioactive superhero down.
Definitely not.
So this is our A cover for that. And then we also have this really nice Mike Allred variant.
Yeah.
I love that.
Next is G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, number 302. We just talked about 301. Was it this week that came out or last week? Yeah, super good. Lots of action. So, just again, this particular series is not part of the Energon universe. That whole thing is setting up the Transformers and G.I. Joe and Cobra. But this is the just continuation of Larry Hama's long-running A Real American Hero series. So all of your favorite Joes and Cobras are already established. In this one, the Joes are mourning their fallen brother. We saw that in the last issue. But while they're doing that, dangerous new forces are being mounted against them. Cobra Commander returns to Springfield, and the now mutant Serpentor turns to a deadly ally that it says we will not see coming. So I want to see who that is. But yeah, the first issue was great. The art was great. I can't wait for this next. I can't wait for a story to get established because the first one was just a lot of action. But where is this going? So I can't wait to see the formation of a story. But it's probably going to kick off in this. So we have our A cover right here, and then we have that's by Andy Kubert. But then this one is also that's the black and white variant. Okay, yeah. Yeah, that looks great.
Next up, we've got Jay Garrick Flash number 3. Number 2 we'll be talking about on Monday. But in this one, something is coming for Judy Garrick. And whatever it is sending forgotten foes from her past to get her. So I'm guessing we're going to be seeing a lot of like new Golden Age villains.
Yeah, I mean, because were they forgotten to her, or are they forgotten to us too? We're seeing them for the first time.
It's been like forgotten to us, like we've never seen, including Dr. Elemental, who was in the first issue.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Finding out more about. So very excited for this one. This is Jay Garrick Flash number 3. That was our A cover, and that's the only cover we got.
Yep. So this one is Captain Marvel number 3. And this one, issue number 2 hasn't come out yet. It will be coming out next week, and we'll be talking about that on Monday. So Captain Marvel, we saw in the first issue, she gets the Nega bands stuck to her, and to where she now trades places with Una Yang, who you see on the cover. Just like classic Rick Jones and the original Marvel. So Captain Marvel's going to go to Clea Strange for helping getting those off. But then Una Yang clangs her into the negative zone, and then she finds herself in the Sanctum Sanctorum, because that's where Captain Marvel was. And Una Yang is a thief, and she's in the Sanctum Sanctorum. She's gonna get some sticky fingers, and maybe take an artifact or two.
She probably shouldn't.
Well,
it could be very dangerous.
And she doesn't do a good job, because I do believe the Stranges find out that she did that, and they are none too happy. So this should be really fun. We have our A cover right there, and then we have a Swaby variant.
Very cool. Next up, we got Sensational She-Hulk issue number 3. So this is another one we'll be talking about. Issue number 2 coming up on Monday. But continuing on to issue 3, we see that She-Hulk and Hulk, like from the current Hulk run, which is going to be really interesting, to face one of She-Hulk's most dangerous villains. But it also talks about maybe this current Hulk. He's not the best person to be teaming up with.
Well, he did not. He very reluctantly teamed up with Man-Thing in his own book. So yeah, he is not. He's not a team player right now.
Not currently. It's because he's got that long hair.
Right. Get a haircut, hippie. Hippie Hulk.
There is some variants for this, but they're still not available yet. So for right now, we just have this Jen Bartel A cover.
Next is Zawa number 2. We talked about the first one a couple weeks back. In this one, Zawa, she makes a mess while the kids debate over what went wrong with their failed heist. Basically, they were trying to break into a mega corporation to get food, and it didn't go well. So they're going to try to figure out why. And also the mayor, who we talked about in the first issue, kind of seems like a pompous guy. Like everybody sort of worships him, but I feel like they don't really want to do that, you know? He's enraged that Zawa escaped, and he is going to get his private guards involved in getting her back. So that should be pretty a bad day for Zawa. This is our A cover right here, and then we have our FOC reveal variant as well.
Very creepy.
That is creepy.
And she looks like Cad Bane.
She does look like Cad Bane.
With the cheek things and all of that. Next up, we have Red Light, issue number 2. This was issue number 1. It was very big. We didn't talk about it on the show for reasons that might have got us flagged.
May have been a little too spicy for you.
But it's been really popular. Wanted to continue it. Red Light number 2, where our main character Lacey, who is an AI escort, must break out of her futuristic brothel with the help of one of her skilled clients. So very interesting, very cool new series by a new writer. So this is our A cover. We also have, this is the Allison Sampson variant. And I like this. This is the Frank Cho black and white variant. And there's not a color version of this. It's just a Frank
It's
Cho
only
black and white
yeah.
variant.
Huh. Next is Carnage number 2. Again, first issue has not come out yet. It comes out next week. We'll be talking about it on Monday. But Cletus Cassidy's been reborn. That's the whole crux of this whole series. But to truly ascend to power, he needs some loyal followers and he needs a nemesis. I don't know who that's going to be, but maybe he's going to have like auditions. Try out to be my nemesis or whatever. But also, Flash Thompson becomes convinced that a series of grisly murders are all connected. So I'm assuming it's victims of Carnage, but we'll know more when we read the first issue next week. But if you read that next week and you like it, go ahead and pre-order. Well, I guess FOC is this weekend though, so go ahead and pre-order now.
If you think you're gonna like
yeah,
it,
just assume that you're gonna like it and go ahead and pre-order this now. So this is our A cover, and then we have another Peach Momoko Nightmare variant, and there's already Nightmare.
I was about to say, like, you didn't have to do a whole lot to make
yeah,
it
she just
nightmarish.
just draws Carnage and it's already a nightmare. Yeah.
Next up, we got Spider-Woman number 2, and this one we're still another week or so out from Spider-Woman number 1 because it takes place after Gang War starts in Amazing Spider-Man.
That's right.
So in this one, Jessica is hunting Diamondback. I love all of these snake-themed villains in Marvel.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them. She's hunting Diamondback and his mysterious backers, and Green Mamba, speaking of snake-related villains, is looking for a rematch with Spider-Woman. And we also know from some of the stuff that Jessica Drew right now is a very angry person and is maybe taking things a little far in her vigilantism to find out what happened to her son.
Yeah.
So very excited to see where all of this goes. I'm very excited to read the first issue when it comes out.
Well, her baby, right? I mean, like that's even. I mean, nobody wants to lose a kid, but like her new baby, poof, gone.
Yeah.
Where is he?
So yeah, very excited about this one. And whenever the next one drops, I think maybe it's in like not this week, but next week or something like that. It's very soon. This is our A cover. And we also have this David Nakayama Ski Chalet variant. We don't have too many of those this week, but continue with those.
That's a good one.
Yep.
Next is the Ministry of Compliance number 2. We talked about the first issue this past Monday, and it was really interesting sci-fi, but also conspiracy theories and espionage and that kind of stuff. In this one, well, we saw in the first one really that the devolution, they've cut communication with all of the ministries that are on Earth, and now they're all stuck there. They can't get because of something that happened in that first issue. So Abigail and Quinn and Kingsley, who are kind of our 3 main characters that we're following, they're gonna have to fight a large group of assassins, of like human assassins, because we said on Monday that there are some, I say Earth humans, like that sounds weird, but like there are some Earthians that know about the devolution, about them there, and they have a plan to fight back. So there's a large group of those assassins that our main characters are going to have to fight. And the conspiracy of who is working against the ministry grows deeper. So that story is getting bigger. So this one was a really interesting first issue. So the second one should be really good too. We have our A cover right here, and then we have a Sook B cover as well.
I like that you thought Earth humans was weird, but then you replaced it with Earthians.
Earthians. Well, but it's weird because the devolution, they look human.
Yeah.
I don't think but they're not. But it's like humans and like.
I think Earthlings is the correct term instead of Earthians.
Well,
but Earthians is real fun.
I'm trying to make Earthians happen. Okay.
Stop trying to make Earthians happen. Next up, we've got cool covers. These are kind of, once we're past issue 2s and 3s, we're getting into just some cool covers and other things we want to mention, starting with Batman Superman World's Finest. So this is continuing our, still in the Kingdom Come universe story. They're trying to keep Boy Thunder from becoming Magog. But in this one, Batman and Superman run up against the Justice Battalion, which is kind of what the Kingdom Come Justice League has become.
Mhm.
So it sounds really fun, and I'm just continuing to love this series. And I'm always amazed that we're already at issue 22 of
Yeah.
this
And
because it feels like it's still started.
it is still as good as it was the day it came out. It's
Yes.
fantastic.
So this is our A cover. And then we also have this Jerome Pena cover too, which is really cool. We haven't seen that Kingdom Come Aquaman in a while because he barely played a part in the
Right.
original. They basically went to him for help, and he's like, "Nah,
I'm good.
I'm good."
Yeah. Next is this is Batman the Brave and the Bold #8. This is a really cool Gilla March cover. This one, so if you've been reading along, this is the conclusion to the Back to Year One storyline. There's also part 2 of the Wild Dog Here Comes Trouble storyline in this, and the continuation of the Aquaman storyline. In this one, he goes to Gorilla City. So
Oh,
Aquaman and Gorilla City, I thought that sounds really
that
cool.
sounds really cool.
But yeah, we wanted to show you this really cool Gilla March cover.
Next up, we've got Superman #9. We'll be talking about, I guess, Superman #8 coming up on Monday.
Yeah.
But it just continues to be such a good series. And I really like this one. You can see Superman on the cover looking a little different. It's because in this one, super armor. After his battle with the Chain, which is going to be wrapping up in this issue 8, Superman will have to put on this super armor that Lex Luthor creates for him. Whether he likes it or not, he's going to have to get the help of Lex once again.
Why did he need that? I don't remember.
Well, we haven't seen yet why he needs it.
Well, he got it at the very end of
He
number
did
7.
when he was fighting Parasite. So Parasite, I think, couldn't siphon off
Oh, that's right.
his
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
abilities.
Okay.
So this is our A cover, and then this is our Bruno Redondo cover, and I believe this issue is drawn by Bruno Redondo, if I'm not mistaken.
I thought that was the next
Is that the
story arc.
next
I
one?
think it might be the next story arc.
Okay.
Yeah, because
Well,
that's the
there's
end. This is the end of this story arc, and I
right.
think
But Bruno Redondo is coming on at some
yes.
point to be the artist
Mm-hmm.
or fill-in artist.
Yep.
We also have this really nice Mike Diodato Jr. Aquaman variant, but more of a Black Manta variant. And we've got this great MIKEL JANIN Santa variant as well as a homage to Action Comics #1.
Next is Catwoman #60. This is part 2 of the 9 Live storyline. We know that she left Gotham after the Gotham War. So this is part 2 of the new story arc where she's taking on different 9 different heists or missions or
Yeah.
whatever. But she's in this one, she's in one of the most beautiful cities in the world. She is taking part in a dance to the death that is happening in a theater where the stakes are life and death. So, I don't know who that guy is, but that Flamingo. I don't, yeah.
Love Flamingo back from Grant Morrison. I believe that's Flamingo's first appearances in like one of the first story arcs of Batman and Robin from
Okay.
Grant Morrison.
I didn't.
It's a great character.
I didn't see his arms and his body.
Yeah.
So I was like, who is
It's almost
that?
like one of those
Color bleed, yeah.
variants.
So we have our A cover right here from David Nakayama. We have our Terso Cons variant. We have a Jorge Fornes variant, and then we have a another Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom variant as well.
Yeah, it's a Perio.
Mm-hmm.
Very cool. The guy is a ripped Black Manta.
Yeah.
His suit is spray painted on.
Right.
Next up, we've got Harley Quinn Black, White, and Red. This is the final issue of that series. So if you've been enjoying it, don't miss out on this one. And like always, there are some great covers for this. So of course, we've got this A cover by Jenny Frison, who draws a very glamorous Harley. Then we also have this. This is the Totino variant. It's really fun, and a Ariel Diaz variant as well.
Awesome.
So yeah, just that's one of the best parts of these Black, White, and whatever books is they also have fantastic covers.
Now I want there to be a Black, White, and whatever book.
Yeah,
literally
yeah.
Black, White, and whatever, and
which is every other comic.
Right, it's every other color. Next is Nightwing #109. This is the conclusion to the pirate story that we've been reading for a couple issues now. Nightwing learns the truth behind the secret pirate society that he's been palling around with. His relationship with Bee Bennett changes forever. She's sort of the captain of the crew that he's been with. And there's a backup story that's a tie into Beast World. And it almost sounded almost like like it was gonna, because it mentioned Beast Boy like going through changes and stuff. So it almost sounds like it's before Beast World, but I think Beast World comes out before this. But Beast World tie-in. We'll just
Yeah.
leave it at that for right now. So this is our Jamal Campbell variant, and then we have a very cool Dan Mora variant.
Really teasing me that he's going to be fighting a giant squid, and
Maybe, I don't
hope that
know.
happens.
Hasn't happened yet.
Next up, we've got some cool variants for Amazing Spider-Man. Issue number 41. This continues also the Gang War storyline. And in this issue, Kingpin, of course, cannot. If there's a big gang war going on with all the villains, he can't keep his dirty mitts
Yeah.
out of it. So Kingpin's going to be joining the fray. And we've got some great covers here, starting with this Ryan Stegman ROM, the Space Knight cover, which they're doing a lot with ROM, with releasing the omnibus and the
And the facsimile,
facsimile. So I hope we see some actual ROM in a story coming.
Maybe
soon.
Rom comes down from space and helps with the street level gang war. That would be crazy.
Yeah, that's a bit over the top for
Right.
ROM to take it. So that is Ryan Stegman. We also have this
Like
really nice Pete Woods cover, just crazy perspective on that one. And then we have the Disney What If variant, which I always love seeing the different characters cast for
Right.
different roles, because I feel like they've been a different character on each one.
Yeah.
But of course, Pete is Loki.
Next is Wonder Woman number 4. We're going to be talking about number 3 on Monday, but in this one, Wonder Woman is going to grant the wish of a dying boy to give him the perfect day. Sounds very. It sounds like we've seen Superman do that before, and it makes me think of the kid who what was it from Spider-Man? The kid who liked Spider-Man. That story was that tearjerker right there. In this one, also the Sovereign constricts his grip on the government, and there is a backup story featuring Trinity, who we're going to see again for not for the first time, but for the next time in number 3 next week. But in this backup story, she's going to spend a night at the Fortress of Solitude with her babysitters, the Super Sons.
Yeah.
So I guess that backup story will be a younger Trinity.
So I've already kind of sampled this
Okay.
one. They're not as old. It feels like they're not as old as they were in her first appearance.
Okay.
But they're not like, Super Sons age. They're,
a little bit older than
a
Super
little bit
Son?
older than that, yeah.
Because she's younger than them.
Right.
Okay, that makes sense.
But they also look pretty young in it.
Okay,
as well.
that makes sense. Yeah, so been
And
a great.
at least the story in this where she's taking care of the kid, like fulfilling their wish. They get a really good day. Like they're going everywhere. They're meeting Amazonians. It's really cool.
Very cool. All right, so this is our Bruno Redondo cover. We have a Julian Totino cover, and then we have a Pablo Villalobos Santa variant.
That is
a lot of
fun, like demon elves.
Oh, I was thinking it was a Silent Night variant, but that's just on the bottom right. That's just an advertisement for the Silent Night, the Batman Silent Night series.
So next up, we have a couple of these Wolverine covers I talked about earlier that are really fun homages. So we're starting out. This is actually for Captain America number 5. It doesn't help that you don't see the title on there as well. But this is an homage to, this is Avengers 4?
Captain America 100.
Oh, Captain America 100.
Because it was Tales of Suspense through 99, and then Iron Man went off into his own book with number 1, and Captain America took over, and they just kept numbering, so it's number 100. Even though technically it's like Captain America's like first solo book in Marvel, but they kept the number 100.
Yeah.
Oh, this is Doctor Strange. Yeah, I was like, what is? Yeah, there's no title on this. This is Doctor Strange number 11. And this one is the Wolverine. What does it say? Wolverine variant.
I think that's maybe what it's called.
Oh,
like the like variant series or something like that.
Okay. Oh yeah, because yours says it too. Yeah.
Yep.
But this is an homage to Ghost Rider number 1 from 1990 with the Danny Ketch Ghost Rider. Which, look at that motorcycle. Holy cow. Give him that motorcycle in the main book, right?
That motorcycle looks like an old Toy Biz.
Yeah.
Because he had that one that just had the giant claws on it and everything. So, yeah, that was really cool. And then we have Star Wars Dark Droids. The Wolverine covers are going to continue for quite a while.
Oh, yeah, there's a bunch
with almost every book's getting them. But Star Wars Dark Droids at number 5. This is the finale of the miniseries. the kind of event book. So what's going to happen with the Scourge? And it sounds like the Empire and at least some of the Imperials and some of the Rebels are actually going to have to team up to take out the Scourge. I'm very excited to see how this wraps up and what, this is a big deal with all of this going on. How does it kind of like how does everything return to normal before Return of the Jedi starts? So
Oh,
this
right.
is number 5. We also have this Rachel Stott variant, which I think this one's super cool. And then we have Darth Vader number 42. This is the logo variant. I feel like they've been doing that for a lot of things, but Darth Vader's logo is just his name, I guess.
That's all it needs.
But this is that, and this is actually going to be the start of a new storyline post Dart Droids. This one, it sounds like something a threat to the emperor is going to be rising up from within the empire. So kind of some tension within the ranks, and this is going to be the first appearance of Enric Pride from Rise of Skywalker. Now this is really interesting.
Oh.
So Pride was the like captain of a star destroyer in the final battle in Exegol. But because there was not a comic adaptation of Rise of Skywalker, even though there's a comic adaptation of every other Star Wars movie, this will be his first appearance rather
Okay.
than a movie tie-in, which
Yeah.
is very rare for a Star Wars character that has appeared in a movie. So just some fun things in this new Darth Vader book. So this is, like I said, the logo variant.
No Wolverine Star Wars variants.
No, unfortunately.
Oh, this is really cool though. This is Fantastic Four number 15. This is the Hildebrandt Galactus variant. So this was one of the Marvel Masterpieces trading cards back in the 90s, and they've been for a good while now. They've been sprinkling these in as
They're
variants.
not like weekly or monthly.
It's
It's like every once in a while you get one.
yeah, yeah. So I love that. I got that whole series back when I was a kid. I love it. And yeah, we just want to spotlight this cover. I don't have any notes on this one. I missed this one, but
Is this the one where
oh,
the Master Building returns?
yeah. So we know that early on in the series, Reed Richards did something to in order to save New York. He made a whole city block go 1 year into the future, so they've been having to live without their kids for a year. And in this one, they finally catch up to that.
Yeah.
So it comes back. So I'm really excited to see that one.
They said we have graphic novels and more. Actually, there's not too many graphic novels. There's more.
Oh,
So starting with Batman number 406 facsimile. So it looks like they're doing a facsimile of pretty much this whole year one story.
yeah, they've already or they're not out yet, but I pre-ordered the facsimiles for part 1 and part 2, and
Yeah,
now
it's
they're
really
doing yeah.
interesting that I don't remember when they've done. Usually they've done like the first issue of a thing
Yeah.
or whatever, but this it looks like they're doing the whole thing.
And it's a
So
4-part story, so there'll be one
yeah,
more
no, they're
later.
gonna stop right here. Just
Right.
drive
A little
collecting
bit of a
crazy.
piece, yeah.
Of course, but this is Batman Year One, Part 3 by Frank Miller and David Mazzucchelli. So very cool.
This is G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, number 301, second print. So we talked about it a little bit ago. So if you want to get ready for 302 that's coming out soon that we talked about a minute ago, and you missed 301, grab this here. And this is I don't know who the artist on this one is, but
I'm
it
not
looks
sure,
really
but
cool.
I really like this. You got CoverGirl, Scarlet,
Scarlet and
and Don Marino,
yeah, I don't remember what her
the new
name is.
Snake Eyes.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, speaking of G.I. Joe, we've got some other printings for Transformers issue number 2. So these are all by Jason Howard, who I'm a big fan of, Astounding Wolfman.
Oh yeah.
So we've got this one with Duke. We've got this one with Soundwave. Very cool. And we've got this one with Cliff
Oh,
Jumper. Little cute Cliff
I love
Jumper.
Cliff. I was always a Cliff Jumper guy instead of a Bumblebee guy.
Well, this series is for
It
you.
is. It
Because
really
Cliff
is.
and Bumblebee
It
for a while.
really is.
So those are really fun. And that is it for Comics from the Future. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to pre-order these books plus tons more over at infinityflux.net. If you don't have an account, it's super easy to sign up for one. You can, if you're local, you can come by the store and pick up your books, or if you're not, we'll have them shipped right out to you with the most care that you'll ever see in a package. Uh, But stay tuned for our show coming up on Monday. We'll be going over some of the biggest books coming out that week, so you know what to grab when you go into your store. And yeah, anything else?
In the spirit of the Marvel Meow books, drop us a cat emoji.
Ooh.
If you made it all the way through the end, drop us a cat emoji and let us know.
Don't drop a real cat like it looked like Spider-Man was about to do.
Right.
That would be rude.
Well, but they would land on their feet, though.
I think there's only a certain height.
There's a threshold. Yeah.
There's a threshold, and it's still a pretty big impact.
Okay, yeah. Cat emoji will do
say
fine.
Cat emoji. You don't have to drop it, just type it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for watching, and until next time, see ya.